Okay, sounds to me like we have a packed house. We cannot take any more introductions, and we have just passed the bottom of the hour. So let's get this call underway. I'd like to welcome you to this evening's call of Straight Talk with the formulator of the ZJ International Products, Mr. Russ Bianchi. Welcome to all of our team members from around the world here at ZJ International. And a special and warm welcome to all of our guests online tonight. Tonight's call is specific to the ZJ International products, so we do focus in specifically on product. This is not a presentation per se, but on the other hand, when you have world-class products that create life-changing results for people, as are the ZJ products, and so many people had results, well then obviously it makes for a world-class business because people tend to tell other people. And that is what's caused the extraordinary growth that this company has experienced and is continuing to experience, promises to experience in the future. And so all of that is really a result of the baseline that's all of the ZJ products. That is Moringa oleifera, which is a botanical or a tree that grows in certain parts of the world. And it's this one botanical, this single tree, that is the common denominator in all of our products that's created the world-class product line. And ZJ International, if you're new on the line tonight, please know this company started as a direct result of a 1-hour documentary that aired on Discovery Channel. This documentary featured moringa, talking about all of its benefits and what it can do in terms of changing the world and changing people's lives, providing food for the hungry, and so forth. This documentary aired and it was recorded on a VHS video a number of years ago. And that video was handed to the founder of ZJ International, Mr. Ken Brailsford. When Ken saw the benefits of this particular botanical, he felt compelled and visioned ZJ International. And ZJ was born as a result of what he saw in that documentary. So, one big challenge that Ken had was finding a way to take moringa in its raw form from nature, growing as a tree, and utilizing constituents of this botanical to create the products that we have today. And that task was given to one of the most renowned formulators in the world, a gentleman who has created many billion-dollar brands for a number of large global corporations, and that's Mr. Russ Bianchi. And Russ, always a pleasure, sir. Great to speak with you on the phone. Great to host this call, Straight Talk. Kind of amazing what can happen. Somebody watches a documentary recorded on a VHS video. That same person calls another person to formulate some products. And here we are years later, and tens of thousands, in fact, let's get into hundreds of thousands of people have been affected both from a prosperity and a health standpoint. So we always like to thank you for taking on this task in what you've done to create the ZJ products. But maybe you can give some context, some of your background, what you do, and why ZJ, why moringa?
Thank you, David. Basically, my name is Russ Bianchi, and I run a company called Adapt Solutions Incorporated. We're based in the Monterey Bay area. It's a beautiful, sunny, 80-degree day here as the sun sets on the Monterey Bay, looking out my office window. We create, convert, and stabilize things. We do pharmaceutical and drug development, food and beverage, skincare and cosmetics, flavor chemistry and stabilization, chocolate, confectionery, harmful dietary supplementation. The list is relatively long. We've been at it for 3.5 decades, cumulatively, globally. Yes, we are on retainer. It's the largest multinationals, down to entrepreneurial operations. If you've perhaps ever seen or consumed an energy bar, are responsible for the vast majority of that entire category in successful brands in the marketplace today, which was a multi-billion-dollar shift away from breakfast cereal, fat-laden granola bars, candy bars, and the like. We did not come to this project lightly. As a matter of fact, we turned it down. There are two reasons we did decide to do it. One, the overwhelming scientifically based and published evidence on the nutritional efficaciousness of moringa, which we had never heard of. But it literally for 6.5 decades had been known in the scientific community, particularly the drug development community, but they failed at utilizing it in their model. The second reason was the founder, Ken Brailsford. Ken, this isn't his first time at the rodeo. He's successfully built 2 multi-billion-dollar businesses still in existence, Nature Sunshine and Rubik's International Unicity, and had retired basically to philanthropic and worked for his church. Very noble, very honest man. As a matter of fact, I would say he's probably the most honest businessman I've run into, but I didn't know that at the time. And he promised that the quality assurance and control, the good manufacturing practices, the hazard safety standards, the actual production, literally from plantations controlled by the company through finished brands, would be maintained if we could get there. Not only did he agree to that, he far exceeded it. And for those that will be at the second weekend in October International Convention in Salt Lake City, you'll get the opportunity to see that evidence in a state-of-the-art, above pharmaceutical grade plant, literally with the highest qualitative and ratings available in terms of efficacious results and quality products. But why moringa? International, governmental, academic, medical, technical, scientific organizations around the world have all said the same thing, that the correct form of moringa, and there's multiple dozens of kinds, literally even more countries around the world equatorially, can literally help the body nutritionally correct itself. This is not up for debate. Now, there's a lot of pretenders out there. A lot of folks think they can give you a capsule or a tea or a tincture or something that would have been in a natural health food store that is the same as us, and that is simply not true. We failed 143 times over an 18-month period to overcome the base problem. In nature, to protect itself from its nutrient density of all the various components that are in moringa, dozens upon dozens of anti-inflammatories, antioxidants, anti-carcinogens, omega-3, 6, and 9, all the essential vitamins and minerals, all the amino acids, 9 essentially your body doesn't produce and haven't been in any supplementation from anyone or any drugs or any food for literally decades. We had to overcome the horrific smell and flavor of the product. And that was trial and error, mostly error. Or as Tom Edison once said, he knew 989 ways not to make an incandescent light bulb, and tonight you're talking to a guy who knows 143 ways not to make the Zisha. So that's me. That's a little snapshot of how we came to this, David.
Well, obviously, we're all glad that you stayed with it, and now our company is in 32 countries and growing, soon to be 100 countries. And all of this because of our baseline products. Just before we get into the product divisions and maybe the weight management system specifically in terms of all products, what separates moringa? There are thousands of nutritional products available at the health food store and at the GNCs and all the different places that people purchase supplementation. It seems like in the old days we used to take 20 and 30, 40 different supplements 3 times a day, and so you had all these little bottles of everything. And now moringa is a single product that has everything in its natural form in a bioavailable manner. What separates it from all nutritional products or all plants or all botanicals that are out there?
Empirical, evidentiary based results. You know, people can say whatever they want, David. The bottom line is never confuse activity or claims with results. These are guaranteed results. There's an unconditional money-back guarantee on all your money if you don't get a result. There's actually a program to even get this for free. I don't know about you, David. I like free a lot. This is a fundamentally hybrid company that is above oral drug delivery under dietary supplement law, is direct referral model with a highly lucrative referral compensation plan. If no one's ever seen anything like this, no one's ever seen the correct form of moringa. And by the way, Zeke International is the only company that is using all the nutrient constituent parts of the plant. Leaf puree, fruit puree, seed cake, cellulose fiber, oil. No one else has it. No one has the correct varietal. And no one else is honestly delivering the results that Zika is providing with incredibly off-the-chart retention rates. You know, a lot of people may not want to be a distributor of this, David, but anyone who tries it literally stays with it as a user. This is unlike any other company out there in that regard. So the real problem begins, David, from the mid-1960s. The food chain started getting dumbed down. We only had about 1,500 calories a day. We ate from 4 basic food groups. Nobody was particularly hungry. Maybe one out of 60 people had a glandular issue that might give them a weight challenge. Maybe, you know, consumed too much confectionery and became a sugar diabetic. But I remind everyone, we're nobody's doctor here tonight, and we are not diagnosing, treating, preventing, curing, mitigating, or prescribing. We're talking about wellness through nutrition that's truly absorbable and guaranteed. That's the fundamental difference. So, why Zika? By the way, the name's very interesting. It comes from the Zeaxanthin, and the IJA is from the Sanskrit going back for the tree itself. So I like to say we're complete from Z to A. Unlike the fraudulent multivitamins, we actually get into your body.
And of course, it is that specifically that has made all of the products so effective. And of course, we have weight management, we have the peak performance system for those that are athletic and on the go. Yes, there is something in terms of nutrition for the outer body in our skincare line, Gen M. Why don't we take a few minutes and focus in on weight management, because that was, to a large degree, the catalyst of all the success that we've had, because so many people have had and continue to have great results that are sustainable without going on a diet. And why don't we start with the problem first? First of all, what has happened in terms of weight? We don't seem to be getting any better. We seem to be getting a whole lot heavier. And over the decades, it seems now pretty well chronic in our society and, in fact, around the world. Let's talk about the primitive.
Yeah, basically diets don't work and haven't for at least 4.5 decades, David. As I started eating real food in the 60s, we're not eating real food now. We're consuming more than double the calories, David, than we did maybe 3.5 decades ago. And we are receiving up to 85% less absorbable nutrients and more than double the calories. So we are overfed and we're undernourished. We're also heavily overdrugged. Just 25 years ago, maybe 16 out of 100 people from birth to death might be on one prescription drug a day. Today, the number is over 73% of the North American population from birth to death that are literally on 4 prescription drugs or more per day. And that's not including the ones that aren't counted as over-the-counter, recreational, illegal, or otherwise. So we are really overfed, undernourished, and heavily overdrugged. That's the problem. Now, the solution. In every disaster, there's opportunity. What we decided to do here is if diets don't work with kumbaya weigh-in sessions, phony point scale, celebrities on TV that were really the fat farm on the treadmill 7 days a week, and then pretend like the food come into the house where the packaging tastes better than the contents actually did something for you. If that were true, how did we go from 1 out of 60 to 7 out of 10 with a major or morbid weight issue? Well, the answer is there's no content left in the food. We're not satiated. We're still hungry. We're digging our graves literally with our teeth. Mortality rates, David, are actually going down. An 11 to 15-year-old boy or girl in North America right now has an actual probability of living 15 years less than the average 45-year-old. That's how serious this is. 1 out of 3 children is uninsurable for life insurance by their 18th birthday right now because they're already diabetic and or obese. So if you give the body what it needs, it's the body that self-corrects. And that's not my quote, that's Ken Brailsford, the founder of the company. He, Rod Larson, Ryan Palmer, Sharon Dastra, Dr. Josh Plant, who works with me, Sherry Cutler, Whitney Dason, the list goes on and on of all the people at corporate serving us to allow all independent businesses, not mine, yours, I'm there to support it too, grow. And there used to be a saying that money doesn't grow on trees. Well, I think to differ because it certainly does at Asia with Ringo O'Farrell. So we're delivering base nutrition in our original Smart Drink, or my favorite now, the new Super Mix. If you're not using Super Mix, folks, you're shortchanging yourself because it's got hundreds of times more nutrition at essentially the same equivalent price on a dosage basis. So why not get more into when there's nothing in the food chain? We then give you a morning or afternoon capsule to trigger leptin in your brain. You're what we call satiated, which is a fancy word for you're not hungry, but you got to still run the body. So you're going to run body fat instead without exercise. Pretty good trick, but there's a problem. The problem is we're releasing toxins that are stored in body fat or adipose tissue. You overwhelm the liver and then you stop losing weight, and then you're mad at Uncle Russ. But then we give you a detoxification tea, a premium tea with moringa, and it is a combination of a system, David, not a diet that allows anyone that uses it correctly to lose all the weight they want permanently. And when you get to where you want to be, you back off on the tea, you back off on the caps. When you back off on the nutrition, past your 100th birthday, still cognitive from a mental standpoint, probably dying of loneliness because you've outlived all your contemporaries.
Well, we know that the results have been extraordinary. I certainly know, having traveled the country and, in fact, been all over the world, and the life-changing, life-altering results people have had has really been something extraordinary. And I think more importantly is that people have maintained those results long-term. And that is significant for people, that they haven't had to make fundamental changes. They've just put good nutrition back into the body, and it's amazing. They don't seem to have to eat as much and graze because the food's got substance because of that, because of the Smart Mix or the Super Mix. And so that has been a catalyst, of course, to all of our growth. And we've also diversified the product line, and there's the peak performance system. And we have a huge market in terms of energy, and even bigger when we talk about athletics and people that are maintaining high-level wellness and vitality. Maybe you could share some thoughts on the peak performance configuration of product.
Never confuse activity with results. I learned in sports kinesiological formulation with all the energy bars that if you don't deliver results, people just move on to the next thing. We deliver real results. Literally world records, David. Literally Olympic medals. Literally every major professional, collegiate, or Olympic sport, and athletes in it are using these products with great success. But why? Because if you give the body real nutrition, then you can set up the body for real sustained blood glucose or energy without a lactic acid buildup or cramping meaning no hypoglycemic event or energy crash and burn, less injury, and you're building slow and fast twitch muscles. So we have the Sport Strength, we have the XM Plus, and the exciting one, in my opinion, is our new Prime 90. You know, around the world, getting protein out of plants is a pretty dicey thing. You can get it in some legumes, you can get it in soy, but now we know both soy and corn are genetically modified. There was a huge march around the world this weekend against the proponents of genetic modification. We even know now that corn and soy are cancer causing. Anyone that refutes that is a liar, because the evidence is there on my website. And what I would tell you is this: you don't want to put things that are going to cause cancer into your body. Well, if you go to the so-called retail store with the bodybuilder stuff, you start looking at those labels, it's all genetically modified, isolated, concentrated, hydrogenated, manipulated chemistry that doesn't work and never has. In fact, it constipates. Moringa is the most protein-dense nutrient plant known to science, more than double that of soy, which I just told you causes cancer. So we came up with Prime 90 with a real moringa protein, enzymatically alive, amino acid sequencing that deliver results. All you got to do is go to YouTube tonight, David. There's a guy that's a distributor in the business named Luke Curry, or Luke Curry Workout. You'll see what happens. People literally break records using real nutrition. Oh, gee, what a concept. Give the body what it needs. It's the body that responds and self-corrects. And we're delivering real results because of moringa, the most nutrient-dense botanical, available only from Beach International and no one else, David.
Okay, so we cover weight loss, cover peak performance, and of course, the staple of all of our products is the consumption of Supermix, and that people use on a daily basis, regardless of those two product configurations. And of course, I think there's about 100, if I'm not mistaken, roughly about 147,000 people now, and these are just customers. 147,000 that are on my team that are buying $100 a month in product. I mean, it's really incredible when you think about it, and that number is rising in the thousands monthly. On a good month, over 10,000 people. What about outer beauty? We have Gen M skincare line, and as you always say, it takes care of the largest organ in our body. What about this skincare line?
Well, actually, see our body, David, on our body, it protects everything else. You know, I've done a lot of skincare, David. Very famous brands in France, in the United Kingdom, Europe, North and Central South America, Asia also, both retail and direct sell. And I must tell you, in collaboration with other colleagues in the business, we were able to put together not only a state-of-the-art cosmetic line or skincare nutrition line, but actually the best one I've ever touched, and I can compare it to anybody else's. Because we've known for maybe 4,600 years the moringa oil, which was basically used to burn in lamps or cook with, will go 7 thermal layers deep, restore collagen, lift wrinkles, and restore actual tissue and texture by topical nutrition because of the amino acid sequencing. And as a result of that, we came out with Gen M or Generation Moringa. Love the skin you're in. We're delivering topical nutrition that allows literally restoration. And I don't care what you got: heartbreak, psoriasis, shingles, scurvy, rickets, lacerations, burns, inflammation, puncture wounds, spider bites, gun wounds, third-degree burns. I'm not making a medical statement, I'm not making a nutritional one. Try the Gen M, and you'll see the results for yourself. I would say, David, conservatively, Gen M is the sleeping giant. That if someone gets a hold of this, it'll be a multi-billion-dollar division in very short order, because there's nothing even close, not even 10 years in technology close to what Beach International already has with its skincare line.
Well, and again, the results speak for themselves. And I think, one of the things that makes for a long-term legacy company, a company that's going to be one that we can build a business and pass to our kids and to our grandchildren. To have a company like that, you must have a world-class product line that's going to sustain the customer, whether people are growing the business or not. And we have that. So we have both a world-class business, but supported by world-class products. We just have another minute or so, Russ, and maybe you can project a little bit of vision. There's a lot of people on this line tonight. Most of them are distributors. There are many guests on the line tonight. There are a lot of new people who have recently joined us online tonight. A lot of people are here for the prosperity aspect. And the aspect of prosperity is going to be based on a number of fundamentals, one of which is the potential for Moringa in the marketplace. I mean, how many people can we affect, and what can Moringa and the Zija product line become in terms of a brand? How big can we get?
Yeah, it's going to be $1 billion brand very shortly, because this is not a linear growth model for multiple geometric progression. You already mentioned it, but we're already in Ireland, United Kingdom, Europe, Eastern Europe, Canada, United States, Mexico, Central and South America, Caribbean, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Philippines, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and many other countries, as you stated, David, will be opening up very rapidly. And can we handle all this volume? Yeah, we've got $2 billion worth of production capability right now. Will we double Parliament Fires Convention? I would say so, yeah. That's a nice conservative number in my opinion, because literally the people get the results, and even if people don't distribute, they stay as customers. The retention rates are off the charts in comparison to anyone. So when you compare this to other direct referral models or direct sales models, and this being a hybrid, literally giving away even equity in the company in profit participation pools from 0 to $2 billion, do I see this company to be a multi-billion and potentially long-term, within a decade, double-digit billion-dollar company? That is not a stretch at all, David. And I've been around these and built them. So the future here is much larger. And will we be able to address around the world the needs through Moringa in a wide diversity of product lines that Dr. Joshua Plant and I are constantly corresponding on a daily basis of where we can go and where we strategically think Moringa can be of great benefit to folks? The answer is yes. So we haven't even really begun, David. We're still in our infancy, even though it doesn't seem like that from time to time when you put in a 20-hour day. But, I started in the early 70s and wanted to help people, and here's the first real opportunity on a wellness standpoint that I've seen that happen. So it's more of a delight and a joy to see people not only benefiting financially and from a wellness standpoint, but we're only at the very beginning.
Well, the future is bright. It's an exciting time for us. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new on the line tonight, or if you're an existing distributor, there is a CD called the Moringa Miracle, and that CD is available with Russ articulating everything there is to know about Zija International and the product line, as well as, of course, Moringa. You can find that at oneteamworldwide.com, oneteamworldwide.com, and purchase it from Concepts. It's a great business building tool. Certainly it explains the product and the company in a very clear fashion. Russ, it's great what we've been able to accomplish. I know the future is bright. Great to do these calls with you on Straight Talk. And again, once again, we thank you. If you're new on the line tonight, what I'd like you to do is get back with the person who invited you to this call, get your questions answered. They will show you how to get plugged into Zija, how to become part of the team if you wish. Certainly how to purchase the product, get on the product. You will get a great result, and those results will tell a lot of the story for you as it relates to weight loss in particular. you that are interested in business, we do a business presentation tomorrow night on this same conference call bridge, and you're certainly welcome to join us and invite a few people to that call. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on Straight Talk, and the lines are open.
Great call, thank you, Central Ohio. Thank you,